Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and I'm here today with an Etsy shop share. Sorry. It's Smart Print Download, and that's all one word. It's just I ran out of room, so the SM are small, ART are capitalized, and the rest is, smaller lowercase letters. Smart Print Download, and the owner's name is Rosie. Hi Rosie. Thank you so much for these lovely images. So Rosie is Allie, the Cockney crafter's daughter, and she is taking photographs, and she has some in her shop that are like actual picture size or full page size, and then she has come up with some postcards, and so these are the postcard size. So this is her flower print nature themed, and then I also got the flower themed postcards, but you can go on there and you can easily see which ones you want because the pictures are right there on the front. So and then both of these come with their own postcard backing like this. I just have this one because the other one I cut, but each one of the kits will come with postcard backs so that you can put them in your journals. You could even probably send them out as postcards because they are lovely images. So yeah, I thought we could play with those a little bit today. And again, it's Smart Print Download, and it's Rosie. So I will have a link, so no worries there at all. I also got, thank you to Lorna at Tailor Made Journals. She helped me find one of these. I purchased it from Abe Books. It's A-B-E Books, Abe Books. And it's a German version of Edith Holden in paperback. So just all the same lovely images. They're a tiny bit smaller than the hardback, but really about the same. And then the writing is all in German, of course. So that was very cool find, I thought, and there's more of them. So if you are interested, you can go check out Abe Books. Thank you, Lorna, for helping me find one. That was awesome. She was just sending me messages on Etsy about ones that she found and would put the link in, and I could go look at the link and whatever, so that was fun. All right, so I've taken a couple pages out of the Edith Holden book, and I thought we could make like a pocket out of that to put one of our postcards in. So that is what we're going to do today. I hope you guys all had a lovely weekend. We had a nice one. We got together with some friends and it was very nice. So friends that live out of state, they just came for a little short visit. Sorry, I gotta get the paper out of I have discovered, and this may help some people, sometimes when your cutter isn't cutting right, it has nothing to do with the blade. If you have any paper particles down in there, sometimes that is what causes them to act up. That's not always the case, but that's something to try anyway. So I'm just going to cut off just a tiny bit of the margin here because I don't want my pocket quite this wide. That's a little bit too wide. And old book page just does not cut great on these slide cutters. I need to get one of the chop style. I don't know what they're called. Can you tell? All right, so then I'm going to cut this side as well. Just want to, and then I'll see how, come on. Sometimes you have to start practically in the middle of the page to get it to do it. All right, that'll work for now. We'll just do one at a time. I'll start with this one that I have here, and then I thought we could almost do like a loaded pocket, so I think this ended up being, yeah, not quite 5, so that'll work great on a page because I usually do my pages about 5.5. So I'm just going to fold this up a little, and it's not going to be a very big pocket because maybe just a tiny bit more. I want to see the flowers back there, so, and I don't need a huge pocket to put a few tags in or one postcard or whatever. So there's that, and then I cut out one of these images of Rosie's ahead of time, and I thought I could put that on the flap here. So my daughter found out that they are gonna, I think I told you guys this already, sorry, I'm just very excited for her. They're gonna get the whole band together, and they'll get to have regular practices and all that at the university. So that is great, because they've had the band broken up into three separate bands, and so you know, you don't get the same sound or anything when you do it that way. So yeah, I thought this would be a great thing to put right down here. So even if you don't use these just as postcards, you can use the images on, you know, tags or whatever, collaging and all that kind of thing. And I think that's fun. I love this image. It reminds me, out in my yard I have ice plant, and this isn't ice plant, but the flowers are super similar. It might be a form of ice plant, I don't know, but anyway, the one I have is a little different. But that's what it reminds me of, because it just covers the ground entirely. So I'm going to ink this all up, even though this one has a little patina of its own already. I didn't even check the copyright on that one. It's just interesting. It's usually the 70s sometime. Yeah, 77. The last, it looks, was 82. Oh, 79 is the copyright. I'm not sure. I can't read that. So, but yeah. So they have patina just from that amount of time. Well, that was quite a while ago, obviously. So wish they'd put that book in print again. It would be fabulous. Or like I said, if somebody could do that, like a scrapbooking paper or something like that with it, that would be awesome. It's just great. She does such beautiful work. All right, so I need my glue stick. There it is. So yeah, I thought these were a little bit springy, but you know, it's nice to have these around for any kind of journal, really. They just look great in. So the botanical images. So I thought Edith Holden would be a good fit for making something, and I just got that book, so that's fun to play with something new. Even though I have other Edith Holden of the same images, it just, I kind of like the size of these. They're a good size because they're not too big. Alright, and then what I'll probably do is stitch around it. I don't really want to do anything else. I may add like a trim or something up at the top. I don't know. It'd be fun to add one of those little like clustery things up there. But it just doesn't need much because those flowers are gorgeous. Oops. Could put like a butterfly or something on there. Can't ever leave it alone, right? Put like a little piece of that. I don't know. It would probably, yeah, it's going to cover that. It doesn't really go anyway. Well, this one back here. Sorry, excuse my reach. I just have them all setting over there with all kinds of other junk on my desk. It's a little smaller, but yeah, I don't want that on there. So let's see if we've got a butterfly. That would be a nice thing to have. I need to find my Rachel at Roxy Creation envelope. I have all her stuff stapled together so that I can find it easier. I don't have very many of her butterflies cut out. I need to cut some more out. And these all might be too big. Darn. I don't know why that's in there. Yeah, it's just huge. I need to cut out some more, so that may be something I add later. I didn't really plan for what else to put on these. Because I know there are smaller ones, but I think I've just used them all up. Alright, so let's work on a postcard then, and we'll think about that as we go. Got one of the postcards here, and I thought it'd probably be smart to figure out which one of the postcards I want and then glue it together before I cut it out so that hopefully I could trim it to the right size, you know. So let's see, what do we want with that? Maybe that one would be pretty. So I'm not going to trim this perfectly because I want to back it with the postcard backing. I don't need these huge pieces like this though. So this is a little bit of a mass make because we'll make another one of those. It's about as mass as I tend to get is 2 or 3. That's my idea of mass making. I just sort of either lose interest after that or I just don't get very far very fast. But these are pretty easy to make, these kind of pockets, you know, just fold up. Especially if you've got great images like that. But even with regular book page you could do that and put a neat piece of, you know, scrapbook paper or digital or whatever on there. And that would turn out great. Okay, now the trick is to line this up. The bottom is right, so we're gonna just try, see if we can get, those edges are pretty close to the same. I think I'm gonna go with that and see what happens. And then we'll just trim on this side with the backing because we'll probably end up trimming just a little bit off the flowers maybe, but I think that'll be alright. It's always tricky when you have to bring two together. If you can do it with light behind it, that's usually the best way, but obviously holding it up to the light and trying to glue it together at the same time is not the easiest thing in the world. I think the images might be a tad bigger than the postcard, so because I did lose a little bit there. Yeah, see, that worked great. There's a teeny bit. We can fix that. Or we can just ink it too. Okay. Excellent. Those are very pretty. So, like, vibrant the pictures are. Beautiful in a botanical type journal. Oh, I'm sorry. It's probably my daughter. Oh, no, was not. And then I probably would go ahead and stitch around this as well just to give it a little extra something. But I don't know that I want to put anything else on that one. I mean, you could add a little trim or something, possibly, but I just think it's very pretty like it is. And then see, it just goes right in there. So that works great. And let's do the other one. This one has those great dragonflies. I really don't want to cover up the dragonflies. I'm trying to think how else I could do that. I wonder if I did one of those tags. And then you could have it as a flip or something. Yeah, I think we'll do one of those. So I just folded it not completely in half, and these are kind of like the same idea as what Carrie the Crafter did for Gail. And then you cut it into a tag, and I think I'll cut off a little bit of the bottom because I don't think I need it quite that long. So this one will be a little different. And then you could make the postcard. Yeah, the postcard might be a little big in that pocket, huh? Well, we'll try it when we get there. So let's see. Let's do the tag part. Sorry, this wasn't my plan, and then I just did it. Because that's what I do. Oh, come on. And I may be doing this wrong for what I remember. Who knows? I'm such a ding-dong. Okay, and then I'm going to glue it. Just a little bit down here at the bottom. Actually, I need to do this side so I don't put too much. My goodness, Amy. Okay. And just up at the top, and maybe a little bit down this side, so it stays down and doesn't flap up on you. Okay, and then I'll stitch right there, and I think I definitely want to add something here, but I probably will put it in the book, like put a hinge on it and use it as a flap, because this side's so pretty, so that you could see both sides. Or I guess if you stick it into a pocket, you'd be able to look at both sides too. So let's see. I like this one with the B, and I think we could make it a tiny bit smaller. Let's cut it out. I know it's kind of going the wrong direction, but I just want to see how much is it going to hang out. Yeah, see, I think I could cut that and it wouldn't be a problem. It's really not even that much to cut off. Now, do I want to back that with a postcard? Yeah, because I could lose a little bit of the bottom, and I'm not going to lose much. But you could make it more like a tag or something if you wanted to. But we'll keep it with the postcard thing here. Let me do the top, and I'll try to line up the top portion. Oh, sorry, screeching my scissors. And I could cut off a little bit of the top here too, and it wouldn't be a big deal. Okay, so I guess I'm not mass making. I lied, because see, I already couldn't focus enough to make two the same. Telling you, I struggle with that. I just cannot do that mass making. I don't know why. You'd think if I went into it like ready to do it, I could do it, but I just really can't. I always end up off on a tangent doing something else. It's kind of weird. That needs to go over quite a bit. Okay, that looks pretty good. Oh, I got glue on that image, darn. For now, I'm just going to trim it to this size, and then I'll figure out how much I want to cut off. And I can't cut straight, so it's a good thing I'm cutting the bottom anyway. Wow, Rosie, are you glad you gave these to me so that I could, like, just chop them all crazy? So definitely go check her out because she's new Etsy shop, you know, new to doing all this kind of stuff. And she turned some of her lovely images into journal items just for junk journalers, because that's really not her thing that she normally does. But yeah, that's fun that she did that. So see, that can go right in there. I don't even have to cut off much at all. So if I can get a hold of it here, I just need to figure out. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut from the bottom because there's really not anything to miss there. And even if it hung out a little, it's not like a big deal. Let's see if I can get my other corner that good. She's got lovely things, and if you have something, yeah, I'm just going to let that, that's fine, like that. Like, if you're looking for an image to like hang on the wall or something like that, then I would definitely go check her out because she just really has some pretty images. I have a few different postcard sets. Yeah, that works. And then I want a little something down there. I'm just not liking that. That's boring. I could use the rest of this down here. Or some of it anyway. Let's do like that. So that's the rest of the one that we put on the other one. I'm sure you figured that out, but the rest of the postcard. And then I think I have, I don't know, I just have bags of stuff that I need to go through that's gotten out of control. Let's see if we can find some little snippy bits in here. That might be fun. You go with it. I don't know that I have a whole lot of purple. That's something that I always struggle with. I just don't tend to have a whole lot of purple. There's a piece of that ribbon, and I get this off of Amazon, and it's great to tie around journals. I need to go get some other colors so that I can use them for other things, but put a little piece of that. I'm having a hard time, I think, because I was doing Christmas and all those kind of things. And then, you know, I had all that stuff out. And then I am switching more back to the spring thing. And it's like my brain's going, wait, we're not doing the right thing here. So I think I'm struggling with that a little bit. And just not finding what I want. A piece of this might work. Yeah, I think that'll work. So what I think I'm going to go do is some stitching, and then I'll come back and show you guys when I'm done. I'm just going to stitch this onto here and then glue it down, and I'll probably then stitch around that, stitch around these. So yeah, I'll be right back in a minute. All right, I'm back. So you ever had one of those days where your brain and your foot do not connect while you're sewing? So I really shouldn't have sewn anything today, apparently, because I couldn't make anything work. But anyway, I will show you what I did. I went right down the rabbit hole too, because then I started adding little things to this, and this is what I came up with. So I put one of the, just a tiny piece of that little one of these little cluster deals on top of the lace there, and I stitched that. That actually didn't go too horribly. But while stitching this, you could see I like missed that corner entirely. Don't know what I was doing. And then my sewing machine also wasn't talking to itself or whatever, and just completely ate this corner. So that was fun. And then, and I fixed that by adding a piece of book page to the back right here and then stitching it again. So this, I want to do that crazy stitching around. Well, I definitely went crazy because for some reason I kept going too far down. I don't know. Anyway, like I said, brain and foot were not connecting. And then I probably shouldn't have stitched over here either because this doesn't go all the way in anymore. Sorry, I know. It just drives me crazy when I do stuff like this. And then this, I turned my sewing machine from, I think it was the zigzag stitch to straight stitch, but I obviously didn't click it all the way. So it made these funny, weird, like super open zigzags, but I kind of like that. That actually turned out kind of cool. And then I just added a piece of the fabric that's kind of like a burlap. I get that from Vintage Polka Dot Shop, but it's super fine burlap instead of the big weave burlap. And some vintage rickrack and another little piece of that cluster. And I also added a piece of the cluster and just some of that purple fabric that I was showing you. So anyway, I mean, I think they turned out fine for that, but it was just one of those moments where I was like, what is wrong with my brain? I don't know why sometimes it's so difficult to sew. Other times I can do it and I don't have any trouble at all. But for some reason, I just was struggling. So that is what I had planned for today. But since we have more time, I thought I would go ahead and maybe do another little pocket or something out of this. Maybe we'll do a envelope or something. A something. So let's see, maybe we could do one that would go in a Christmas journal, right? I love this in German. It's just really cool. This one might be a good one to do an envelope out of. We'll just do one of those envelopes like we did last time. So it won't be anything new, but oh, come on. The other ones like came out so nicely. There we go. Just don't want it all crazy. I think I'm going to go ahead and use my X-Acto blade to do this too. I don't know why I didn't do that last time. That wasn't very smart of me. Sorry, shake the whole camera when I do that. So yeah, it was just one of those, wow, could we get one of these, you know, done right and not a complete disaster? Silliness. It's like, how many times have you straight stitched? You wouldn't know it. Yeah, that was crazy. Okay, so I'm trying to think. We had to do it upside down, right? So then when we flip this up, but then this will be upside down, so that doesn't work. This and then this. You don't get to see a whole lot of that though, huh? So maybe we want to make something else with it. Could do another one of those bigger pockets, because those kind of are cool. Yeah, let's do that instead. We'll do this kind, because we want to see the holly. We don't want to hide the holly. I do need to cut a little bit off the sides though, and I'm going to do it the same way, because again, the whole cutter thing just doesn't work great, even though I'm really slow at this, because I don't do this a whole lot. Maybe I'd get faster if I did it more, right? It works much better, that's for sure. No scraggly edges. There. I think I'll come almost all the way to that middle point of the dots there. Oh my gosh, see, but with shaky hands, that doesn't work so great. craziness. And I put a different blade in my X-Acto knife, and now the cap doesn't fit on, so obviously I got the wrong size blade, but I'm like, I bought these stinking blades, so I'm going to use them. Because, you know, you get a pack of like, I don't know how many are in there, 5 or something, 10, or I don't know. So it's like, well, I guess my cap's just not going to fit right. I didn't realize that there were multiple sizes. I mean, I know some of the fancy crafting ones, you know, you can get different sizes and whatever, but this is just the generic, like, you know, but obviously I got too big of a blade. So I have to watch that because sometimes it falls off or whatever. I end up poking myself. I did end up rounding the corners on these. I don't know if you guys noticed, but yeah, I used my corner rounder because it was pretty bad cutting on those. So obviously I'm not going to use another one of the postcards because I do have a red rose. That probably would look kind of pretty. She has a red rose, but they're a little more summery looking than, you know, winter looking. But we'll find something to put in it, or on it, or whatever. My neighbor has 2 pit bull dogs, and I do not like it when those dogs bark because they're kind of scary sounding. I mean, I know pit bulls can be nice, I get that, but they just have that really mean kind of sound. I don't know. I've not ever been around a whole lot of dogs anyway, though, because I didn't grow up with dogs. My family always had cats for whatever reason. So I think it's just, I'm just not really used to dogs. But their particular bark is kind of scary to me. I guess I'm just a wuss. That's really what the problem is. Okay, so we could use one of these kind of deals. Tags. These are the ones we use to do the fabric. I don't know that I'll get 2 of them done. We need to put something across there. So let's use our Christmas scraps that I still have sitting out because this is going to be a never-ending project until Christmas is done. Do I want green or do I want red? Let's see. Okay, this one would be good. Let's use that one. That's Hobby Lobby paper that I got in a paper stack, and I think it was like Old World Christmas, or I don't know, something to that effect. So I'm going to set those aside that we already did so they're not, you know, getting in the way here. I really like those postcards, Rosie, though. Those are super fun. Try to tear it without the white so much. Oh, no, still got the white. I'm doing something wrong. It's the direction that you tear it, I know. But I just always end up doing it the wrong way, no matter what. I didn't even tear enough. What am I doing? Maybe it's just time for me to go to bed. Even though it's only like, I don't know, what is it, like almost 2 in the afternoon. Going to bed, people. And I did the hole punch too without the thumb notch, without putting anything on there. Yeah, doing good. Okay, so we're going to have to mark where that thumb notch is so that I can do it on this one too. It's getting entertaining, let me just say. Makes you guys proud, I'm sure. Some days. Okay. It's Monday. What can I say? Well, I actually don't even have that excuse because it's not a Monday, but like I told you guys, I'm going to be doing like filming one ahead. It'll be on or air on Monday, but I'm filming it ahead so that I don't have to wait until so late in the afternoon or sometimes even the evening for it to be finished. It's kind of annoying. So trying to, the quality of the camera picture is more high resolution, and so it takes longer to upload. And by longer, I mean a really long time. I told my son, this is crazy how long this takes. He's like, well, the picture's better. It's like, well, I mean, it's better, but it doesn't seem like it's, my goodness. So anyway, I had to redo the way I do things. So I did one of these for Christmas. I know I'm on a tangent kind of thing with these, but they are fun. So these are the, if you didn't see, I used the margins off of book page, and I put a few of them together and just glue them however. And then I stamped some numbers and just added paper scraps and stamping and music paper and little pieces of scrapbook paper and fabric and just all that, and then stitched it. So that's what these are if you didn't like see the video or whatever. And then you can just cut them apart wherever you want. And then I like to rough up the edge because, you know, when it's cut, it just kind of looks in it. But you have to remember that the stitching will come undone once it's cut. So, you know, just make sure you get it glued down good in that spot or whatever, so that it doesn't unravel on you. And maybe we could put another little something on there. Oh, that'll work. Oh, my daughter's home. She's later today because she did band practice, so that was good. That usually puts her in a pretty good mood, which is awesome. The things we like to do tend to put us in a good mood, right? This little guy's cute. Oh, he's still a little too tall. I thought he was little enough, but he's not. I'm doing a video, babe. Okay, let's see. Not finding what I want in there. Could add another piece of one of these or something. I like him, too bad he doesn't fit. Too big. Just one a little more with it. Got these other ones. I'll use this Christmas on this ledger. Kind of goes with that. Or not. No, don't like it. Don't like it. That would work. I just needed a little more something in there. This is from Tailor Made Journals, that Victorian Scrap Christmas Set 2 that I've been using. How was band?
Oh, fine. We got out early because we were bored.
Oh. And that can go there. You have work tonight, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's put this on there, and then we can do a tag. Probably just do one, and then finished. All right. What should we put on there? One of those fabric ones would be kind of fun in there. One fabric one. Let's see. Oh, I did this one yesterday. Later. Oh my goodness. Book fell over. Good tidings. That one would look good in there. Okay, and then let's do a bigger one with some other things on it. I'll put that one back. Those turned out super fun. I really liked doing those. I have more ideas because my paper that I was looking for that had all my ideas on it, I had left it downstairs like a ding-a-ling. And I like that one better. So we could make more of them if you guys liked that and are interested in other ones. Just let me know and we could do that. That was fun. That art glitter glue is getting so empty. It's so light, it just flies around on my table. The other one's turned over too. I don't think I want to cover all the book page entirely. I kind of like that, so I think I'm going to do something sort of similar that I did with the fabric, but using the paper instead. On this side more. And then I can stitch around that too. Just like the fabric. So her, the restaurant that she works in just opened back up. My daughter, that's what I'm talking about, sorry. Just opened back up yesterday because they had 2 people that ended up testing positive for coronavirus. So they had to stay closed and get everybody's tests back twice negative, and then they could open again. So she's been off for quite a while. Hoping that that's the end of it for there, since everybody else tested negative. Hoping that it goes. I could add the little guy on this one. Tinsel, sugar plum fairies, that might work. Let's see, what else do we got? Nothing will work with him at all. I'm just reading all these, sorry. Oh, that would be cute. I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all year. Yeah, something like that'll be cute. I can crown him just a little bit. Okay. And for him, I'm going to use the art glitter glue just to make sure it stays. Scoot it in close enough there, but not cover any of the words. Alright. And then I'm just going to back it on, that one's backed in the red, so I'm just going to back it on a like a 3x5 card that's been coffee dyed, because that's a good color. And I think I'll glue it right down like that. That's what I did with some of the other ones. I like to use the tacky glue for this because this coffee dyed 3x5 card's kind of wonky, you know, they get all rippled. So I just want to make sure it ends up sticking down really well. Oh, I didn't stitch on it, did I? Well, I'll probably just stitch around the outside. It doesn't feel like it needs it as much as the fabric does when it's on there. I think you just feel the need to stitch fabric more or something. Well, I'm always worried about fabric sticking long term on things. If I used Fabri-Tac, I probably wouldn't have that problem, but I can't deal with that Fabri-Tac. I like using these kid book pages. Although it was funny, I was saying that, you know, you don't have to worry about the bad words, but then there was something about a girl dying or something in this particular story, and I thought, yeah, that sounds right. That it's like, even though there's not bad words, it's really not something you want on your Christmas tags. So, I mean, most of it got covered, but it was just... I just want a little bit of writing on there, okay? And some page protector, full protectors. And whenever I know where it's going, I can put some ribbon or something in the twine in the little holes. Alright, so don't forget to go on over and check out Rosie's shop, and the link is in the description box below the video. Because she's super sweet. I had a little snafu in the one that I bought, and she helped me out with that, just lickety-split, no problem. So she's very nice. Alright, so that'll go right in there, and I'll stitch around those. And I'll stitch around the pocket as well. And then we have these two that we did with the postcards from Rosie. I love that bumblebee up there. All right, so I hope that you guys have an awesome day, and we will chat again soon. Bye-bye now.